Hello and welcome, Dodger fans, to another episode of the Let's Talk Blue podcast. My name is Evans Barnes. I'm your host. Today is Friday, April 3rd, 2026, and the Dodgers have dropped their first series of the season, losing 2 out of 3 to the Cleveland Guardians. We're going to talk about that series. We're also going to look ahead to the series against the Nationals. But first, let's get into this Guardians series. The Dodgers lose game 1, 4-2. Roki Sasaki, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Really pitched pretty well. I know that I said in the preview that I thought if the Dodgers lost this game, it was going to be because Roki did not pitch very well. It ended up not being the case. Roki was solid, but Parker Messick was better. And Parker Messick is a young, very talented arm, and I talked about that in the preview as well. The Guardians are known for developing pitching. They're in the mix every year because they can throw the ball, and that really showed in this series. Parker Messick, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned run, 5 strikeouts, no walks, against one of, if not the most patient lineup in the Major League Baseball. Parker Messick put on a masterpiece. Not a whole lot to do besides tip your cap there. It's a little concerning. Not a lot of production out of the top of the lineup in this series. Shohei, Tucker, Mookie, Freddie, all hitting below 200. I think Freddie may have actually gotten just above 200 that last at-bat of the series there, but not what you expect from those guys, for sure. But sometimes the pitcher beats you and you got to tip your cap, and I think that's what happened in this game. Very impressed with Parker Messick. The Dodgers do end up getting some runs off the bullpen. Closer Cade Smith gives up 2 in the 9th, but it's sort of too little too late after Robleski got roughed up a little bit there in the 7th, gave up 3 runs. There was no coming back from that. But some encouraging things, 2 runs off of the closer. And going into this game, too, the Dodgers win. Shohei Ohtani has a very, very nice pitching performance in this game. 6 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts on 87 pitches. He could have gone 7, I think. Shohei looked incredible. And then he handed the ball to Vezina. Vezina handed it to Jack Dreyer, and Dreyer handed it to Edwin Diaz. Diaz ended up having a little bit of trouble in the 9th, but there was rain, sort of slipping and sliding on the mound. Even Shohei had a little bit of trouble with that. So not too concerned about Diaz, but the pitching in this game, despite the rain, was very good. Mookie Betts makes an awesome play and talks a little trash towards the end of the game, which was fun. And the Dodgers win this one 4-1. Max Muncy goes yard. So the Dodgers dropped the series, but this game was a lot of good stuff, and it was great to see Shohei back out there full strength pitching. So I'm looking forward to this kind of season that Shohei can have on the mound after this start. And the Dodgers take this middle game of the series. Unfortunately, the Cleveland Guardians saved their best pitching performance for last. In this game 3, Gavin Williams was a beast. 7 innings, 2 hits, both of them from Andy Paz. No earned runs, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. Struck out Will Smith 3 times, who does not strike out. Gavin Williams was really, 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 really good. And there's not a whole lot else to say about his performance. It was superb. The Dodgers do end up getting another run off of the Guardians bullpen in the 9th inning. Freddie Freeman hits a home run, but after Tanner Scott serves up a cookie to Jose Ramirez and makes the lead 4 runs, there was not a whole lot of hope after Gavin Williams came off the mound. So tough. The most disappointing part of the game was the pitch that he threw to Jose Ramirez. I can't believe. Elevated in the zone right down the middle to the best hitter in the lineup. I'm confused. Why don't people just walk Jose Ramirez every time he comes to the plate? Because the Guardians don't have players to be feared in their lineup. The only other guy that I thought packed a little punch was the rookie, Chase DeLauder. He goes down early in Game 1. We don't see him the rest of the series. We could have walked Jose Ramirez every time he came up to bat, in my opinion. But we didn't. Instead, we serve him a meatball that he puts in left field bleachers. It's concerning a little bit. Tanner Scott, we really wanted him to have a much better season this year, sort of come back to the mean of where he was before he came to the Dodgers, but he didn't in this game. I'm very disappointed in Tanner Scott. It was just a terrible pitch. But, Tanner Scott can still have a great season. He can still come back and be the pitcher that the Dodgers thought he would be when they signed him before last year. But after an encouraging couple outings to begin the season, this was a disappointment. Sometimes it's hard to say, oh, well, you gave up a home run to Jose Ramirez, but the pitch was bad. It was right where you wanted if you're a hitter. So that one hurts. And that really is what won the game. If it's a 2-run game and you've got 2 more chances at the bat, you feel like this is doable. When 2 becomes 4 late in the game off of a absolute tank, it's kind of over. So hats off to Gavin Williams. Hats off to Jose Ramirez. Yoshinobu Yamamoto ends up pitching pretty good. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Solid. Not quite as good as some of the the masterful pitching performances we saw from Yamamoto last year, but this was a good start and should have been good enough to win, in my opinion. I know Gavin Williams was excellent, but the Dodgers' top of the lineup has got to produce, and I know that they will. These guys have a track record. All 4 of them are not going to hit under 200 for the remainder of the season, but it's discouraging to start the season this way, no doubt about it. But in the bottom of the 9th, in this 3rd game, Freddie Freeman goes yard off the closer. Still lose 4-1, but maybe he can take some momentum into this series against Washington. Maybe all the guys can take some momentum into this series against Washington. The way they were able to hit the Guardians bullpen. 6 of their 7 runs come against this Guardian bullpen. Not enough to win the series, but salvaged one game and headed into Washington. Maybe a little bit easier test. So we'll get into the Washington look ahead. Congratulations to the Guardians, Gavin Williams, Parker Messick. Those guys pitched incredible, and the Guardians take 2 out of 3. Moving forward today, so game 1 is going to be Miles Mikolas versus Emmett Sheehan. I think this is a great bounce back spot for Emmett Sheehan. This Washington lineup is not good. They have James Wood, who has a lot of raw power, but he's also prone to striking out. C.J. Abrams is kind of the same thing. Other than that, there's not a lot to be scared of against Washington, and the pitching is not super great. Miles Mikolas, been around a long time. I think he threw to close to a 5 ERA last year. Made a lot of starts, and is durable, can eat some innings for you. But he gives up a lot of runs, which is going to be a welcome sight for this Dodgers lineup, who struggled against some really good pitching against Cleveland. So I think this is a good spot for the Dodgers to bounce back. I think it's a good spot for Emmett Sheehan to bounce back and hopefully get the top of the lineup moving. I expect the Dodgers to blow the Nationals out in this first game. Next 2 games, the Nationals are throwing some interesting young pitchers. Jake Irvin is going to pitch the second game against Tyler Glasnow. Irvin had a nice start in his first start, and he made 30 starts last year for the Nationals. ERA was fairly high, below replacement level for a guy who made that many starts is not great, but he's got some interesting stuff. So I'm not going to completely write off Jake Irvin, but I would expect, similar to the first game, the Dodgers are going to be able to score some runs off of this guy. Now, Glass pitched excellent in his first outing. Gave up a little bit early, but really competed well, and I was very impressed with him. I saw him in spring training, and coming into the season, I wasn't super high on Glass. I was higher on Emmett Sheehan than I was on Glass, and that sort of flip-flopped after they've both made their first starts. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out, because, like I said at the beginning of the season, Glass and Emmett Sheehan are kind of just competing with each other for the last spot in the playoff rotation. So as the season goes on and these guys make their starts, which it looks like they're going to be going back-to-back in the rotation, it'll be interesting to keep tabs on that. I expect Glass to pitch well again, and I expect the Dodgers lineup to get after this young pitcher, Irvin. So I'm fairly hopeful. The Dodgers are going to sweep the series. Foster Griffin is the third pitcher that the Nationals are putting out there. A guy that has bounced around a little bit in the minors, and I believe he pitched in Japan last year. But he made a good first start. Don't know a whole lot about him, but he does not have the track record that Roki Sasaki has had, pitching well in the bullpen last year. He made a good first start. So even though Shohei nor Yoshinobu are pitching in this series, I still think the Dodgers have the advantage in all 3 of these pitching matchups. The last one is, I don't know a whole lot about Foster Griffin, and Roki is volatile, but I'd say if the Dodgers drop one of these games, it might be the third one. But I'm going to predict a Dodgers sweep. I'm going to predict the lineup to bounce back in a big way against this sort of soft Nationals pitching staff. And I expect our guys to throw the ball well. The bullpen has been the brightest spot of the beginning of the season to me. And if the starters can get the ball to them in the 5th or the 6th with a lead, I fully expect them to hold on to it. So we'll see what happens. First pitch, I believe, is at 10 Pacific, 10:05. So hope you guys are going to be watching, cheering on the Dodgers. I know I will be. Go Blue.